Hello Swatantra viewers. Welcome to English News Bulletin. I am Mahima, bringing you the latest updates. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and members of his Council of Ministers, including Rajnath Singh and Amit Shah, took the oath as members of the 18th Lok Sabha as its first session began on Monday. Modi took the oath in Hindi amid slogans of Jai Shri Ram raised by members of the Treasury benches. While he was taking the oath, opposition members rose to their feet, holding copies of the Constitution. When Shah came to take the oath, they again held up the copies of the Constitution but remained seated. Besides Rajnath Singh and Shah, Road Transport and Highways Minister Nitin Gadkari also took the oath as members of the 18th Lok Sabha. They will help Pro Tem Speaker B. Mahatab run the House when the members take the oath on Monday and Tuesday. Congress members K. Suresh, T.R. Balu of DMK and Sudeep Bandyopadhyay of TMC, who were called to take oath as they were also appointed as panel of chairpersons like Singh and Kulaste, did not turn up. The Congress has taken objection to Mahatab's appointment, contending that the claim of A-term member Suresh, a Dalit leader, was overlooked. The India bloc has said opposition leaders Suresh, Balu and Bandyopadhyay would not join the panel of chairpersons as a mark of protest. Before the proceedings started, all members observed silence for a few seconds to mark the solemn occasion of the first sitting of the new House.
मैं नरेंद्र दामोदर दास मोदी जो लोकसभा का सदस्य निर्वाचित हुआ हूं, ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं कि मैं विधि द्वारा स्थापित भारत के संविधान के प्रति सच्ची श्रद्धा और निष्ठा रखूंगा। मैं भारत की प्रभुता और अखंडता अक्षुण्ण रखूंगा तथा जिस पद को मैं ग्रहण करने वाला हूं, उसके कर्तव्यों का श्रद्धापूर्वक निर्वहन करूंगा।
Congress leader Rahul Gandhi on Monday accused Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah of attacking the Constitution and said the opposition would not allow the Prime Minister to escape without accountability. The Congress would not allow the attack on the Constitution that Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Amit Shah are doing, he told reporters in Parliament Complex. This attack is not acceptable to people, Gandhi said. Holding copies of the Constitution in their hands, leaders of the India bloc marched to the Lok Sabha chamber on the first session of the 18th Lok Sabha. Asked whether the message of the opposition was reaching out to the people, the former Congress president said the message is reaching the public and no power can touch the Constitution of India. Later in a post on X, Gandhi said the Prime Minister is busy saving his government. Psychologically on the back foot, Narendra Modi is busy saving his government. The attack on the Constitution by Narendra Modi and his government is not acceptable, he said. India's strong opposition will continue its pressure, raise the voice of the people and will not allow the Prime Minister to escape without accountability, Gandhi also said. First 15 days of NDA is marked by horrific train accident, terrorist attacks in Kashmir, plight of passengers in trains, NEET scam, NEET PG cancelled, UGC net paper leak, rising milk, pulses, gas, toll prices, forests blazing with fire, water crisis and deaths due to lack of arrangements during heat wave, Gandhi added.
क्योंकि देखिए जो आक्रमण प्रधानमंत्री जी अमित शाह जी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन पर, संविधान पे कर रहे हैं, वो हमारे लिए एक्सेप्टेबल नहीं है, वो हम होने नहीं देंगे। इसीलिए हमने कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ओथ लेते हुए हमने कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन पकड़ा था। धन्यवाद।
आपको लगता है
Thank you.
संदेश जाएगा? संदेश
हमारा
जाएगा?
संदेश जा रहा है। हिंदुस्तान के कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को कोई शक्ति नहीं छू सकती है। धन्यवाद।
सर इमरजेंसी की बात नहीं कर रहे हैं और
ये देखिए,
Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Monday said people have given his government mandate for a third consecutive term and have put a stamp of approval on its policies and intentions. He also said that the 18th Lok Sabha begins on Monday with a resolve of building a strong nation. Addressing the media in Parliament complex at the beginning of the first session of the new Lok Sabha, PM Modi asserted that his government will take everyone along in fulfilling the aspirations of the people. Modi also noted that emergency's 50th anniversary falls on 25th June and described it as a black spot on India's democracy when constitution was discarded. Welcoming new MPs, he said the 18th Lok Sabha commences with a dream of building a developed India by 2047. People expect good steps from the opposition, but it has been disappointing so far, he said while expressing hope that it will fulfill its role and maintain democracy's decorum. India needs a responsible opposition and people want substance, not slogans. They want debate, diligence, not disturbance in parliament, he said in a jibe at the opposition. The Prime Minister noted that 65 crore voters participated in the just-held parliamentary elections and it was for the second time since independence that a government was chosen for a third consecutive term. The occasion came after 60 years, he said.
मैं आज देशवासियों को विश्वास दिलाता हूं कि आपने हमें जो तीसरी बार मौका दिया है, 2 बार सरकार चलाने का अनुभव हमारे साथ जुड़ा है। मैं देशवासियों को आज विश्वास दिलाता हूं कि हमारे तीसरे कार्यकाल में हम पहले से 3 गुना ज्यादा मेहनत करेंगे। हम परिणामों को भी 3 गुना ला करके रहेंगे और इस संकल्प के साथ हम इस नए कार्यभार को लेकर के आगे चल रहे हैं। माननीय सभी सांसदों से देश को बहुत सी अपेक्षाएं हैं। मैं सभी सांसदों से आग्रह करूंगा कि जनहित के लिए, लोक सेवा के लिए हम इस अवसर का उपयोग करें और हर संभव हम जनहित में कदम उठाएं। देश की जनता विपक्ष से अच्छे कदमों की अपेक्षा रखती है। अब तक जो निराशा मिली है, शायद इस 18वीं लोकसभा में विपक्ष देश के सामान्य नागरिकों की विपक्ष के नाते उनकी भूमिका की अपेक्षा करता है।
In a show of strength, the opposition India bloc members on Monday waved copies of the constitution in parliament as Prime Minister Narendra Modi took oath as a member of the 18th Lok Sabha. Home Minister Amit Shah was also greeted in a similar manner. Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan took oath as Lok Sabha member amid chants of NEET by the opposition members, even as a controversy is ragging on the entrance examinations that has put the government in the dock. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi, Trinamool leader Kalyan Banerjee, and Samajwadi Party leaders Akhilesh Yadav and Avdesh Prasad were seated in the first row in the opposition benches. In a prestige battle, Prasad defeated the 2-time sitting BJP MP Lallu Singh from Faizabad, the constituency that comprises Ayodhya, by a margin of 54,567 votes. Congress member Kodikunil Suresh, DMK's TR Balu and Trinamool Congress member Sudeep Bandyopadhyay walked out of the house when the oath-taking began as a mark of protest over the appointment of Mahathab as pro tem speaker. The 3 opposition members were named on the panel of chairpersons to assist the pro tem speaker. The panel of chairpersons was administered oath immediately after Prime Minister Modi, who is the leader of the 18th Lok Sabha. With Suresh, Balu and Bandyopadhyay choosing to remain absent, the other 2 members named on the panel BJP Radha Mohan Singh and Fagan Singh Kulase were administered oath after the Prime Minister. The opposition members were heard raising the slogan violation of constitution when the panel was sworn in.
करेंगे हम करेंगे संविधान की रक्षा कौन करेंगे हम करेंगे संविधान की रक्षा कौन करेंगे हम करेंगे तानाशाही नहीं चलेगी, नहीं चलेगी, नहीं चलेगी। संविधान की रक्षा हम करेंगे, हमारी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन लॉन्ग लिव, लॉन्ग लिव, लॉन्ग लिव, आवर कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन लॉन्ग लिव, लॉन्ग लिव, लॉन्ग लिव। संविधान का रक्षा कौन करेंगे? नहीं चलेगा, नहीं चलेगा, नहीं चलेगा। नरेंद्र मोदी का तानाशाही नहीं चलेगा, नहीं चलेगा।
Congress's student wing NSUI staged a protest against alleged irregularities in NETUG and cancellation of UGC NET exams here at Jantar Mantar on Monday. The National Students' Union of India planned to take out a march to Gherao the parliament on the day of the commencement of the first session of the 18th Lok Sabha. Scores of NSUI members gathered at Jantar Mantar to register their protest against the alleged irregularities in the medical entrance exam. However, police officials said that no such march has been given permission and security arrangements have been made to prevent any attempts. Amid a demand for the cancellation of the National Eligibility Entrance Test for Undergraduates exam held on 5th May, the Union Education Ministry has said that the incidents of malpractices were localized or isolated and it was not fair to jeopardize the careers of lakhs of candidates who cleared the exam rightfully. The CBI filed an FIR in connection with the alleged irregularities under IPC sections 120-B, criminal conspiracy, and 420, cheating, among others. The UGC NET 2024 exam for the selection of junior research fellows, assistant professors, and PhD scholars was conducted by the National Testing Agency, NTA, on 18th June in 2 shifts across the country. The exam was postponed after the government said that the integrity of the examination may have been compromised. The first cabinet meeting of the new TDP-led government in Andhra Pradesh, headed by Chief Minister N. Chandrababu Naidu, approved the recruitment of 16,347 teachers, abolition of the Land Titling Act and hiking of welfare pensions among other decisions on Monday. Information and Public Relations Minister K. Parthasarathi said the cabinet gave an assurance to all sections of people that the state government would implement all the poll promises. Also, he said the cabinet had abolished the Land Titling Act introduced by the previous government as it was allegedly riddled with ambiguities and uncertainties. The cabinet gave its nod to hike monthly welfare pension from 3,000 rupees to 4,000 rupees to beneficiaries under 28 categories. According to the minister, pensions will be disbursed at the doorstep of 65.3 lakh beneficiaries on 1st July, deploying village secretariat employees. Pensions were raised to eligible specially abled persons from 3,000 rupees to 6,000 rupees per month, from 5,000 rupees to 15,000 rupees per month for differently abled people, and from 5,000 rupees to 10,000 rupees per month for patients suffering from chronic diseases. He highlighted that 7,000 rupees will be disbursed on 1st July, which includes the monthly welfare pension of 4,000 rupees and the 1,000 rupees each promised for the 3 months of April, May and June. The cabinet renamed Vijayawada-based Dr. YSR University of Health Sciences as NTR University of Health Sciences, reversing the decision taken by former Chief Minister Jagan Mohan Reddy. A day after the opposition Bharat Rashtra Samiti Jagtial MLA Sanjay Kumar joining the ruling Congress, tension broke out in Jagtial of Telangana. Bharat Rashtra Samiti activists staged a protest and set fire to the effigy of the defected MLA. They threatened to block his entry into the constituency. The MLA's defection seemed to trigger opposition within the Congress party too. Sanjay Kumar was welcomed into the Congress fold by Chief Minister A. Revant Reddy on Sunday. Kumar is the fifth BRS MLA to join the Congress. Revant Reddy is also the president of the Congress Telangana unit. Sanjay Kumar joining the Congress came close on the heels of senior BRS MLA and former Assembly Speaker Pocharam Srinivas Reddy switching over to the Grand Old Party on 21 June. Earlier, BRS MLAs Kadiya Srihari, Danam Nagender and Tellam Venkat Rao joined the ruling party. Besides these MLAs, several other BRS leaders, including Hyderabad Mayor Vijaya Lakshmi Agarwal, have also joined the Congress. There have been speculations that more BRS MLAs would join the Congress in the days to come. Sanjay Kumar, a doctor by profession, was elected to the Legislative Assembly for the second time. The Begumpet airport here received a bomb threat by email on Monday, prompting authorities to conduct anti-sabotage checks for hours, following which it was found to be a hoax. According to police, the chief security officer received the email claiming that pipe bombs were placed in several airports across the country, especially in bathrooms. The police, along with other security agencies, carried out anti-sabotage checks. After an extensive search, threat email was declared a hoax, the official said, adding the threat email did not specifically mention Begumpet Airport but warned several airports in the country. The Enforcement Directorate on Monday told the Delhi High Court that the trial court order granting bail to Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal was based on perverse findings, as it did not consider the material demonstrating his neck-deep involvement in the offence of money laundering linked to the alleged excise scam. In a written note filed in relation to its plea seeking a stay on the trial court's decision, the agency contended the order suffers from a jurisdictional defect since it was not given a proper opportunity to argue its case. It also said the trial judge did not record her satisfaction that there are reasonable grounds for believing that he is not guilty of such offence as per Section 45 of the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. On 20th June, Special Judge Nyay Bindu, who sat as the vacation judge, granted bail to Kejriwal in the money laundering case, saying the Enforcement Directorate failed to furnish direct evidence linking him to the proceeds of crime in the money laundering case. The Enforcement Directorate said the trial court asked its counsel to cut short his arguments and its right to avail the legal remedies was also curtailed as the bail order was not uploaded until after 11 a.m. on the next day. The trial court could not have deviated from the findings given by the High Court in another case pertaining to the AAP leader, it said. Gold prices declined 120 rupees to 72,480 rupees per 10 grams in the national capital on Monday amid a fall in precious metal rates globally. In the previous session, the yellow metal had settled at 72,600 rupees per 10 grams. Also, silver prices slumped 400 rupees to 91,900 rupees per kg. In the previous session, it had closed at 92,300 rupees per kg. In Delhi markets, spot gold prices 24 carats are trading at 72,480 rupees per 10 grams, down by 120 rupees from the previous close. In the international markets, both gold and silver were trading lower at US $2,318 per ounce and US $29.47 per ounce, respectively. Equity benchmarks Sensex and Nifty closed higher on Monday as buying in power, auto, and industrial stocks helped the indices rebound from early lows amid a bearish trend in global equity markets. However, volatility in markets ahead of the week's monthly expiry and selling pressure on metal and oil and gas counters kept investors on the back foot, traders said. The 30-share BSE Sensex ended 131.18 points, or 0.17%, higher at 77,341.08. In early trade, the benchmark had declined 463.96 points, or 0.60%, to 76,745.94. Later, it bounced back 213.12 points, or 0.27%, to 77,423.02 during the day. The Nifty rose 36.75 points, or 0.16%, to settle at 23,537.85. Stocks may see sharp gyrating during the week. Investors would resort to value buying in select counters, according to analysts. Among the 30 Sensex companies, Mahindra & Mahindra, Power Grid, Sun Pharma, Nestle, Ultratech Cement, NTPC, ITC, ICICI Bank, Titan, Bajaj Finserv, Bharti Airtel, and HDFC Bank were among the biggest gainers. IndusInd Bank, Adani Ports, Tata Steel, Reliance Industries, Axis Bank and Bajaj Finance were among the laggards. In the broader market, the BSE Midcap Gauge climbed 0.37% and the Small Cap Index rose 0.27%. Commodities, IT, metal and services were the laggards. Enterprise communication firm Route Mobile on Monday said it has partnered with Bilizi e-Solutions to provide WhatsApp-based metro rail ticketing services in Nagpur, Hyderabad, and Pune. Presently, 15 Indian cities have active metro services, and Route Mobile has now enabled WhatsApp-based ticketing services for 4 of them, including the Delhi Metro. The company first launched the service for Delhi Metro in 2023. To avail the service, users have to chat with the Metro's official WhatsApp account, select from and to stations, specify ticket quantity, and pay via a preferred method. Upon successful transaction, users will receive QR tickets as a WhatsApp link. Shares of Route Mobile settled 13.59% higher at 1,737 rupees apiece on the BSE. Thank you for watching Swatantra TV English Bulletin. For a complete and comprehensive English news bulletin, please do watch Swatantra TV. This is Mahima, signing off for the day. Keep watching Swatantra TV.